Alright guys, I don't know how we got duped into working on this piece of, but I'm here. Alright guys, what we have is the DIY piece of crap, Mr. Cool, that you can't get parts for. Nobody messes with them. Homeowner ends up having to go online and file a warranty claim and get their parts delivered, and dealing with these people based on what I've seen online and watching videos. Tech support could call you back in 3 or 4 or 5 days sometimes. You sit on hold and they just send you to a message and tell you, leave your number. That's what happened to us last time. I don't know how we got duped into this. I'd have told the man no day one. So anyway, from what I'm understanding, it's giving us that PO error. It's IPM malfunction or overstrong current protection. Possibly the inverter board. Got to ohm out the windings on the compressor and check that, but it's voltage, insufficient voltage type situation. IPM malfunction, and then there's nothing in this damn book that really breaks any of that down. Oh, they're proud of their damn name though. Look at that. Anyway, so first thing I'm going to do, I took the cover off here, and oil leak usually is the most common problem with these things. So let's do a leak check on this real quick, see what we find. And that could have been from somebody taking their gauges off of the valve there. And a lot of times these guys, these DIYs, they'll put these things in and they don't tighten down properly with the flares and things like that. So I'm not picking up anything around here. Like I said, that could be from where the gauges were taken off, but I feel that oil on there. And before I disturb any of these fittings, I want to check and see if they're leaking. And I know that one's going to leak as soon as I take it off, because there's a Schrader core in there, and then that's what they do. So I'm not picking up anything out here leak wise. So I don't know if that's just the oil that got on the tip. We'll get some spray bubbles and spray them down, see what happens. All right, let's spray these down. See if I'm getting a leak anywhere, or at least an obvious one. And that's kind of why I like to do this when I go on a mini split. Before I hook up to it, I want to know if it's leaking before I touch it. Then I can get the homeowner or whoever it is and come out and show them, hey, you see what I got here. You got bubbles, you got a leak, and I haven't hooked up to it yet and done anything. That way they can't blame it on me. Oh, it won't leak until you hook your gauges up to it. Yeah, what'd you do? Get those people out there, guys. So cover yourself. So I've got everything sprayed down pretty good, and I am not seeing any bubbles anywhere around these fittings. So With that said, let's check that compressor. Alright guys, we got this thing opened up, and they put the terminals for the compressor right up against the back side of that damn copper pipe. So trying to get back there and get those off. You can see how tight they are together, right up beside each other. Put the board in upside down. Something kind of smells a little electrically singed up in there. I can't pinpoint it, but I'm not going to try to pull all that crap apart to get that thing out. It's snapped in 20 places. They run refrigerant lines right up here. If you look, there's a heat sink back through this thing, so you can't pull it out because the refrigerant lines are running in there. Just the biggest piece of crap. Like I said, I don't know how we ended up on this thing, but it's probably going to end up being that based on my research, that inverter board, but I just need to confirm this compressor is good. So we're going to get back there and ohm that thing out real quick. Let's see what we can come up with on that. So we're just going to do winding to winding. So 0.8 there. 0.8 there. And 0.8 there. Which is about right for one of these compressors. So we're going to put the wires back on it, and then I'm going to verify my voltage coming to it, make sure we've got the proper supply voltage, yada yada yada, all that good stuff. Mr. Cool piece of shit's what it is. Anyway, let me get these wires back on the compressor, and then we will turn it on. You can always tell when these are cheap because they don't have as many screws holding them together. Yeah, Fujitsu, Mitsubishi, you're taking what, 8 or 9 screws to get the top cover off, and then there's like another 8 to get this, 2 holes, 2 screws, and then clipped up, just clipped together. So there you go, quality at its finest. All right guys, I'm gonna put this disconnect in. I'm gonna confirm our voltage, and then we're going to turn it on and see what the hell it does. $244 volts, which is good. And then you got, let's see, this is coming back from inside. 244 volts going back inside. And you got your communications wire. Out of curiosity, I'm guessing that's going to be DC voltage we're dealing with there, maybe. Yep, so I'm getting a voltage, a voltage, a voltage, a voltage, a voltage. So I'm getting my packages going back and forth. So let's run in there and turn this thing on, and then we'll see what it does. Alright guys, so I just went inside, turned it on, the blower's on. There's going to be a delay obviously in the outdoor unit. I've got my amp clamp, as you can see, in the disconnect box, because there's no real easy way to be hooked up to anything on this piece of crap to get an amp draw without having it wide open and pulling more. I just not going to do all that. The blower's running right now on the indoor unit, and I'm not getting an amp draw, so it must pull like real low amps. Oh, hold on, maybe if I select amps, yeah, there we go. So we got 0.3 amps in there on the blower right now. So we're going to wait for this outdoor unit to start up. I'm going to record it, but I'm going to edit it if it's too long of a wait, so you don't guys have to sit here and wait for this thing to come on. But I gotta tell you, just pay somebody to come out and put a proper, I don't like mini splits. I don't despise working on them, but if you're gonna get one, just pay somebody to come out, a company to come out and install one. So you got a little bit of protection. It's just you and Mr. Cool. Homeowner DIY and Mr. Cool. We got nothing to do with them. We can't get parts for these things around here anywhere that I know of. I've never seen any of the local places around here carry parts for this mess. If you have somebody come out and put in a Fujitsu, Mitsubishi, Daikin, something along those lines, then we've got some resources. We have a place locally, in that case, that we can call. Check on parts. Get some decent, there we go. So it tried to start. I should have had inrush on. Let me do this again, and we're going to inrush that compressor. Alright, so I've recycled the power again, so I'm going to wait for the blower to come back on inside it to cycle on. And then, which is now, it's coming on now, 0.2 amps, moving up to 0.3. And now that I'm at my blower amp of 0.3, I'm going to set this thing to inrush and see what that inrush is on this compressor when it starts out here. I think the fan comes on first, I'm not sure, but out here. But like I said, have a company come out, that way you got warranty on it. You got a little bit of labor warranty with that company. It's under a part warranty. We register it, the ones we put in, 10 years parts, and then it's just you and us dealing with each other. And then we've got some resources we can deal with to work on the thing. You order this stuff off and then you call a heat and air company to come out. You work on it your damn self. If you can buy one and install one off Google, watch some videos, learn how to work on it yourself. So more than likely going to be that inverter board, and he's going to have to deal with that on his own to claim the warranty. Best I know, the last time I ran into one of these situations, homeowner's got to claim the warranty. They send him the part, and then you got to pay us to come out and do the work and hope that that fixes it. So I mean, it is what it is. So it's on. Our pressures, we're pulling 3. The compressor just went out. We're running at 3 amps, and the compressor just went back off. And the pressures on my gauge never dropped below 200. So there's refrigerant in it. Should at least come on and try to run a little bit when they're low on, even if it's low on charge. Enough for you to be able to add something to it. And it's not, it's just piece of shit. Anyway, let me go back in there and see if that fault code's popped back up yet. PO fault code. Should be PS. Should be a PS fault code on that. POS is what the fault should. Piece of shit. That should be the fault code. Shouldn't be PO. So guys, I'm gonna wind this one up. I'm gonna tell him he needs to come out here and get his model and serial number. He's gonna have to find all his paperwork. This is how that process goes. Watch 2 or 3 videos on YouTube about Mr. Cool and this fault code, PO fault code, P4 fault code. Guy put one in 2 weeks later, it had the fault code in it. Called tech support, sat on the phone for 45 minutes. Got a voice message that eventually just told him to leave the number and they'll call him back. Called him back 5 days later. Then he didn't have one of the numbers he needed off his order number for his paperwork where he got the thing, and then get that number and call us back. It just POS, guys. This thing is a POS. Don't do it. And if you're going to put one of these in yourself at your house, or if you're a little heating and air guy out there, you homo install Mr. Cool's, you're on your own, brother. You are on your own. Get a company, reputable company, give you an estimate to put one of these in, a proper version of one of these. It's trying to start again. There we go. Compressor runs. Gets up to about 2 amps now. The pressure's dropping a little bit. Sitting now, we're at about 200 psi. and then the compressor goes back out. You're on your own. You buy one of these guys. Have a company come out and put one in, and it's going to be a lot better off. You're going to pay more for it, but you're going to be in a much better position buying this thing. Cool my ass.